3,000-year-old pharaoh, a sealed tomb, and a body count that sent the entire world into a panic. The Curse of Tutankhamun, one of the most famous supernatural stories in history. Spooky, dramatic, irresistible to a headline writer. There's just one small problem. It's almost certainly complete rubbish. Today we're going case by case, every death linked to the so-called curse, putting each one under the microscope. No mythology, no vibes, just evidence. By the end, you'll have a forensic verdict on whether ancient Egypt's most famous dead teenager actually reached back from the afterlife to murder people. Spoiler, he didn't. But the real story? Way more interesting. In late 1922, Howard Carter discovered Tutankhamun's tomb in the Valley of the Kings, the first royal tomb found almost entirely undisturbed. 3,000 years of silence cracked open in an afternoon. The world went absolutely feral for it. And then, death number one. Lord Carnarvon, the man who started it all. In April 1923, less than 2 months after the inner chamber opened, Lord Carnarvon was dead at 56. His doctor's verdict, a mosquito bite, accidentally torn open while shaving, became infected. Blood poisoning. No antibiotics. That's it. Not a supernatural hex, a shaving accident. But the press lost their minds. It was said Carnarvon's last breath came with screams about a crow clawing his face, that his dog in London died at the same moment, that the lights went out all over Cairo, that his canary was devoured by a cobra. Every single detail, unverified, embellished, tabloid gold. Even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle echoed the curse stories. The man who invented Sherlock Holmes believed in the mummy's curse. Let that sink in. George J. Gould, the tourist who died of being a tourist, wealthy American financier. George J. Gould visited the tomb in 1923, fell sick shortly after, and died of pneumonia months later. Scandalous. Except Egypt in 1923 meant poor sanitation, disease-bearing insects, and zero modern medicine. Pneumonia was everywhere. The curse gets no credit here. Aubrey Herbert, the man cursed by having a brother. Here's where the logic gets truly spectacular. Lord Carnarvon's half-brother, Aubrey Herbert, had a degenerative eye condition and was completely blind. A doctor suggested his rotten teeth were interfering with his vision, so Herbert had every tooth pulled from his head. It didn't restore his sight. He died of sepsis from the dental surgery, 5 months after his brother. The press called him a curse victim, despite the fact he never entered the tomb. The curse was now apparently contagious through blood. Ancient Egyptian magic with the range of a Wi-Fi router. So, quick question. At this point in the evidence, are you team, this is obviously coincidence? Or did one of these cases actually make you hesitate? Comment your answer below. Because the next case is where things get genuinely strange. Arthur Mace, the archaeologist who was already ill. Arthur Mace worked directly with Carter handling the mummy itself, left Egypt in 1924 due to declining health, and died in 1928 from pleurisy and pneumonia. Sounds damning, until you learn he had been in poor health long before he ever entered that tomb. The curse didn't give Arthur Mace pleurisy. Arthur Mace already had pleurisy. Richard Bethel, the secretary in the Gentlemen's Club, Carnarvon's secretary, the first person behind Carter to enter the tomb, was found smothered in his room at an elite London club in 1929. That one does sound genuinely mysterious, because it probably was a crime. A wealthy man found dead in a private club is more likely the result of very human motives than 3,000-year-old magic. The verdict: What science actually says. Of the 26 people present at the official opening, only 6 had died a decade later. Those who spent the most time working with the mummified body lived to an average age of 70, beyond life expectancy at the time. Howard Carter himself, the main violator of Tutankhamun's eternal rest, lived until 1939 and became a global figure in archaeology. Lady Evelyn Herbert, who entered the tomb with her father and Carter, died in 1980. The two people most guilty of disturbing the pharaoh completely fined for decades. No cursed inscription was ever found in the tomb. The famous "Death on Swift Wings" line? Fabricated by journalists. Carter made no mention of any curse in his diary. The entire legend ignited from one man dying of a mosquito bite. What really happened was a masterclass in confirmation bias. People die all the time. Connect those deaths to a famous event, and suddenly everyone is evidence. When an alleged expedition member was injured in a traffic accident in 1970, the London Times ran it under a pharaoh's curse, a car accident, nearly 50 years later. That's not a curse. That's a slow news day. The Curse of Tutankhamun was a media invention, supercharged by confirmation bias, powered by the genuine mystery of ancient Egypt, and kept alive because human beings love a ghost story far more than a boring medical report. The only thing Tutankhamun actually cursed us with is 3,000 years of brilliant archaeology and one of the greatest stories ever told. Pretty solid legacy for an 18-year-old. If you want more history myths forensically dismantled, hit subscribe. We've got a lot more legends that deserve the same treatment.